Okay guys, we're announcing the 2017 Enoch Calendar. Alright, this is exciting. Guys, in this year we have very exciting dates coming up. We have the conclusion of Esther's preparation. We have the Day of Atonement, 2017, which is September 22nd. And guys, if you are new to the channel or you're new to the Enoch Calendar, we're going to go over this application. And very exciting. This is going to be maybe a new calendar for many of you. The way you look at it is going to be new, so we want to go over the details of it. And hopefully you guys will get a copy of it. I'll put a link in the description field for the PDF file so you can have this. It's 5 pages. We're going to go over some of the details of this most exciting year. Okay, guys? So let's get right into it.
All right, guys, the first thing on your clock calendar is this pattern, which you will see on page 1. This is the order and pattern of the calendar that we'll look at. These are the details of the dates, but you can look at the whole year and get an idea for the days of the week here. This is good to print off, guys, and you really have to print off this calendar, or if you look at it regularly, you have to have it in color. You'll see I've color-coded for you this circle. But basically, this is the order and pattern of the throne. In the center, you have God's throne. Around him, you have the 4 living creatures. And then you have the 12 apostles. Or if it goes around twice, you have the 24 elders. So, this is a way of quick glancing, getting the calendar. The calendar is divided up by 4 seasons. Okay? So, I'm in the southern hemisphere, but if you're in northern hemisphere, the first season is spring. Second season, summer. Fall is the third season. Fourth season is winter. And then you would have the corresponding months to that season. So again, northern hemisphere, first season would be spring. And the first month would be Abib, which would correspond to March. So it comes halfway. So the first day of the year 2017 is March. You can see it here, 15th. All right, but that's the first month of the year. So that's the number of the year. So that the year changes. At the time of the recording, it's still 2016. That's why I'm recording it now. I don't follow the Gregorian year because they're off. All right. So in this pattern, just quickly, guys, you can also use it as a clock. So the first hour of the day is 7 a.m. Second hour, 8 a.m., etc. First hour of nighttime, 7 p.m., etc. So this pattern can be a clock or a calendar. And if it's a clock, I'll just mention this briefly. You have over here the graph of the watches. So the sections of time of 7, 8, and 9 are a watch in the first watch. So just like a season has a season has 3 months, a watch has 3 hours, okay? And the watches are here if you're interested. But when the Lord said, watch, and that watch you do in the evening, there's an evening watch, a midnight watch, a rooster crow watch, and a morning watch. So when the sun goes down, that would be, these would be watches. But in this piece, we are talking about a calendar. All right, so the thing you need this for is the days of the week. All right, you can see the Sabbath is green. Sunday is day 1, and it's in yellow because yellow is let there be light. So on day 1, God said, let there be light, right? But there was no sun and moon. So the sun and moon came in day 4. That's why the year starts in day 4 or Wednesday, okay? But what you have here, guys, is see the colors that correspond. See, Wednesday is purple. These colors then would correspond to the colors on your calendar. So day, the first day of the first month is the 4th day of the week, or Wednesday, okay? And then this is dark blue, and that would be the next day, which would be Thursday. So you can see it here, Wednesday, Thursday. Light blue is Friday. Saturday is the Sabbath, and that's green. And Sunday is yellow. Monday, at the time of this recording, it is Monday, is orange, and Tuesday is red. Okay, now, let's get into this calendar. You can see this is probably different than most calendars that you look at because the days go in rows of 6. Okay, most calendars will have days in rows of 7, but this goes in days in rows of 6. And the reason for that is because if you look at a season, you can see this is month 1, 2, 3. The season is identical from one season to another. They always start on the 4th day. The 4th of that 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th month is always the Sabbath, the 4th day. You can see this is the Sabbath, guys. It goes diagonally, okay? But the reason I did this with 6 days in a week is when you visually look at the pattern and structure of a season, it's identical. See this? This is the Sabbath. This is the Sabbath. This is the Sabbath. This is the Sabbath. This is the days of the week. So it always starts Wednesday, 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 Wednesday. Okay? All right. When we look at this, now our color codes are, again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and day 1, Sunday. That's day 1. Let there be light, yellow. Hopefully you can remember that, okay? And then at time of the recording, this is day 2, or Monday in orange, okay? So as you're looking at it, you can see the first day, 8th day, you're going to look at it, it's going to be diagonally that you're viewing this, okay? Now that's not to confuse you, but you can learn new things, guys. And you can learn a new calendar. So you can see I always have the Gregorian date, March 15th. March 15th is the first day. So you can see in the bottom right corner is the Gregorian date. March 16th, 17th, etc. So you can always say, okay, what, where am I based on the Gregorian date? I don't want to even put the Gregorian date. I don't even want to have these pagan names on God's calendar, but I have to because that's how society communicates, okay? So that way you can always track the corresponding day to the Gregorian date, okay? So again, that's what's different about this calendar is the rows go by 6. The reason we did that as well is New Jerusalem has 12 foundations. So 2 seasons have 6 and 6, okay, giving us 12. So this is all pattern and order instruction of heaven. This is a calendar of divine councils, and we'll get into the divine councils in a little bit, okay? But the main thing, again, when we enter the year 2017, the first day, March 15th, and this is the first month. This calendar does also track the lunar cycle. This is a new moon in a black circle. A full moon will be a white circle, okay? So you'll see that on Passover, the first month, 14th day, is a new moon. The month does not start by the moon. It starts by the spring equinox. Spring equinox would be day 364. The Enoch calendar has 364 days in it. So 364, the corresponding day is day 1 of month 1. And in Exodus, this is the month of Abib, okay? Thus bringing the spring cycle, okay? Then you have Passover, you have unleavened bread, first fruits, and marked and highlighted here. So this is your first month. This is your third month. This is the Feast of Weeks, Shavuot. In 2017, right after Shavuot, it is the 3/4 mark of Esther's preparation. We will talk some more about that. But as you get a quick glance of the calendar, and you're looking at a whole year right here, you can see the structure of every season is the same. You have different dates according to the feast, and the lunar cycle is tracked. Okay, the eclipses are also tracked. You can see this is a solar eclipse, and Esther's year concludes in the 6th month, in 15th day. Okay, so that's the solar eclipse. There's another one on Purim 2016, which marks perfectly the Enoch calendar to Esther's preparation. So in order to prepare as an Esther, you need to know what time it is, and I'm telling you what time it is. Okay, so again, quick glance, you have the new moon cycle, full moon cycle, solar eclipses. You have the feasts. And again, when you go to read the days, you always have in the bottom right corner you have the Gregorian dates. Okay? So, that's the basics on how to read the calendar. All right? And I have lots of videos on this, but the main thing, if you're unfamiliar, Enoch said his book was for the last generation. And not only is his book for the last generation in prophecy, but also his calendar is for the last generation. In order for us to number the days properly, we need Enoch's calendar. And that's why, most importantly, there's two things this year. The Day of Atonement, September 22nd, 2017, is the Day of Atonement on Enoch. The Hebrew calendar is going to tell you it's trumpets. But it's off because they have a leap month. There's only 29.5 days when you follow the moon. You can't follow the moon. The moon is the woman, the 13th tribe, Dinah. And thus you have a harlot calendar, which is the Hebrew calendar. We need God's calendar, which is his pattern and his order. Okay? Now, another thing for you guys, if you'd like to follow this calendar, I encourage you to print this off and follow it regularly. If you're confused, watch the video more than once. I also have some instruction on this pattern, and you can actually set this as well. And this is a clock, but it only goes around once a week. This is not an hour hand. It goes around once a week. These are the days of the week. So again, day 1, let there be light. That's Sunday. And then day 2 is the time of this recording. You can see that the day starts in the evening. That's why it's dark. And then it goes through the time of daylight, which is in yellow. Okay? And now I would also like to use this to explain to you why the Enoch calendar is also necessary, because the Hebrew calendar is going to have leap months every 3 years. So you cannot do this. And this is the cycle of weeks in a year. And here we find the church cycle. So this is a heavenly council of the churches, okay? The 7 churches, there's a council. The Lord said, open the books and the scrolls of the 7 churches. And Daniel, well, that's what these are. So the year starts after the 50th week. The 50th week is the Feast of Weeks, or Shavuot. Now we know there's 52 weeks in the year. So what you do is the men had to appear in Jerusalem on Shavuot, and Passover, and Tabernacles. Now you do not count Passover or Tabernacles in these 50. You only count Shavuot, and in doing so you get a 50 pattern of 50, just like Jubilee in a year. And the following week, you can see it here, you have the Feast of Weeks. The following week is cycle 1 of this pattern. All right, and that is Ephesus. Then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. 7 weeks conclude, and then you go into the next church cycle, which is Smyrna. Okay, so when you're looking at the calendar, guys, you see these numbers. See 7. This is Laodicea. So this is this whole period of time from right here to here, between unleavened bread and Feast of Weeks, is a Sabbath. It's a Sabbath of weeks. That's why God put it there, so he would show us this pattern. So this whole time is a Sabbath. And almost none of you know this. But you have to do this through the Enoch calendar and counting the weeks. Okay? So then, what happens is, this is Laodicea. This is the 7th in a cycle. Then it begins the next cycle, which is Ephesus. And then you count 7, and then you come to Smyrna, 2. And that would appear in the 5th month. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you get to the 3rd one is Pergamos. Okay? So that's what these numbers are. Okay? And then you come to the next one, and 4th is Thyatira. And you count, you can see they always fall on the Sabbath. The 5th one is Sardis, and the 6th one, actually we just passed the 6th one the other day, is Philadelphia. Now at the time of the recording, it's 2016, it's month 11, and remember, orange is Monday, it's the 25th, okay? So that tells us the corresponding week. Now we can actually find that here. So if we're in Philadelphia, we're here, we're actually just entered I think it's the 36th month. No, excuse me. We're actually not quite there yet. I think we're in the 11th month towards the end. Yeah, I think it's the 36th. I think that's the time of this recording. That's what we're looking at. All right. So that's what this is. In the center circle are the months. You can see it's the 11th month. at the time of this recording. So you have the months in the center, you have the weeks here, and the corresponding church cycles, okay? So, all I can tell you, if you follow this calendar, you may notice things in your life that relate to some of the things I'm telling you. Otherwise, it may not be information that's pertinent to you, okay? But the other thing, when you print this off, that is page 1, 2, 3, and I only have one copy, but pages 4 and 5 will look like this, okay? And now I want to point out something, some other information on this page as well, so you understand, you know, what we're talking about with some of the information here. But before I do that, one of the reasons I did the Enoch calendar, researched it, was it gives us the pre-cycle. These are the Sabbaths, and you can see each one has a name of a priest. Bilgah, Inmer, Hezer. These are in 1 Chronicles 24. These are the priests. You can see the priest cycle is for each Sabbath here, okay? And these would be, there's 24 priests. So they essentially would be serving twice a year, because that's their pattern and cycle. So this calendar allows us to do this consistently, all right? Now, I also observed another priest cycle, which counts the years, and that's why this application of the Enoch calendar might be different from any others that you see, because you must come up with a leap cycle, because there's only 364 days. Okay, so what do we do with the days? Well, we add up the days, and there's a different priest every 24 years. So again, we skip Tabernacles, we skip Shavuot, and we skip Passover. And if we do that, it will alternate these priests. And so you'll have one every 24 years, and then you add up the 365th day and the 365.25 days over a course of 24 years, and you have a leap month. That's how we apply the House of David. This is called the House of David, these priest cycles, according to the pattern of the 24 elders. That's how we applied the leap cycle in this calendar. Now, the other thing I want to point out is you'll have the month, you'll have the feast here, and then you'll have the sign. Now, these signs are not zodiac signs. It does not relate to the year you were born or you. This relates to the Lord. He set these signs in the heavens. In the Hebrew, it's called the Mazaroth, okay? Now, you can see that, you know, these do relate to things in the book of Revelation. Libra is the scales, and the black horse rider has the scales. Scorpio relates to the locust army. They have scorpions, okay? And so many of these signs, I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but these signs are not zodiac. That's astrology. That is pagan fallen angels stealing God's information. But God told Abraham, scribe the stars, so shall your seed be. So these are the 12 tribes. These relate to the 12 tribes, and there's an order of 12, governmental order, the 12 apostles, New Jerusalem, 12, okay? Then you have decans. A decan is a additional constellation, okay? Now, all these constellations, you know, have been corrupted. It's hard to find truth in this. If you're interested, get the book Witness in the Stars by E.W. Bullinger, okay? But here you can see the decans. There's 3 decans for each month, or main sign. So each month has 4 weeks or 4 decans. And you can count the decans here. They're ordered. So the decans are also as part of this pattern. So for example, let's that page has the 7th month. So you can see the 7th month is Libra, and it's called Tishri. And then you have the decans 19, 20, and 21. And so then you can see that on here you have Libra. It's the 7th month. And then you have decans 19, 20, and 21. Okay. Now also on here, on this page, we also have the 7x7 church cycle. So according to the week of the year, you then would have the church cycle. So here you can see these that we talked about before: Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, and Philadelphia. So these would then give you the week of the year that corresponds to these cycles. It's just another way of giving you the information. It's also on here, but it just is the number 4. You don't know what that is. You would have to go over here to say, okay, which one is number 4? Number 4 is here. That is Thyatira. Okay? And read Revelation 2 and 3 on the 7 churches. It's a council and their church angels. Okay? So, let's go over this again, real quickly, I'm going to summarize. When you're reading the calendar is in rows of 6 with the days. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. It's always and the reason for that is each season is identical. It's always going to start on the 4th day. The 4th day of the month is always going to be a Sabbath. Okay, it's the same thing for spring, summer, fall, winter, northern hemisphere. Okay, we also can find those on here. If you print this off, day 1, let there be light. Okay, that's day 1, Sunday. All right, and then if you have this out, you can always see the corresponding day to here. There's just not enough room to include all the information on a regular Gregorian calendar. This calendar mostly focuses on God's order and God's pattern. Okay. The other thing, if you are interested in, I'm going to talk about this in a second, in the details of the Enoch calendar, I also have this for you. This will show you the months of the year and the angels that Enoch lists, and then also the months also with the corresponding sunlight and darkness. Okay, so spring would begin with equal daylight nighttime, and then the sunlight increases in the summer. Okay, so this is spring, this is summer. You can see he gives you the proportion of sunlight and darkness. Now, then it comes around to the 7th month, and it's equal again. We call this the autumnal equinox, and this is the spring equinox. Okay, so this tracks that, and then he also talks about these portals that rise in the east and set in the west. These are the portals or positions on the horizon where the sun and moon rise. Okay, I have another video on this. I'll put it in the description for you where we talk about it, but I'll also include a link to this. Now, the main thing about this Enoch calendar, guys, I wish we had all this time to go over this information. I know this is a lot, I'm telling you, but it's mainly about the apocalypse. The Lord Jesus is returning, and we are in the first 7 years. So where we are right now, in the Lamb sits on the throne, and that was in 2010. Now we're in this cycle. We're in year 7. We're in the time of the 6th seal, and when this 27 begins, March 15th, that's right here, the spring. So just like it was nighttime, daylight, now it's fall, winter, spring, summer. Okay, so you can see here oil of myrrh and sweet odors. So Esther's year of preparation is 6 months. That began in the 6th month and 15th day in 2016. That concludes in the over here. Where is it? I covered it. It's this page. The 6th month and 15th day of 2017, Esther's year preparation concludes. The reason we know that is there is a solar eclipse that falls right on Purim, which is coming up in a few weeks in 2016. These are all confirmations of the proper application of this calendar. So the you can see on here, you have the 9th of Av, you have the Star of Bethlehem. All these are critical things that the Enoch calendar tracks. Another one I'm going to point out real quick is the 12 stars of Virgo happened in 2011. It's also going to happen in 2017. This is September 22nd. Again, September 22nd is the Day of Atonement. It is not trumpets. The Hebrew calendar is going to tell you it's trumpets. It's not. It's the Day of Atonement, guys. So be warned, okay? Now, this happened in September 29th, 2011. And then you have September 22nd, 2017. The number of days between these two signs is exactly 2,184. That's exactly 364 days times 6. So, again, all these signs are proving that the Enoch calendar must be followed, guys. Okay? So we are concerned with this. We do not have, 50 years to sort out the Enoch calendar. This is right. This was the right application. And if you want, be sure to follow. Okay? So, guys, that concludes it. Thanks for watching. I will put links in the description field. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions, but I'm going over the basics. And, again, print off a copy of this. Get it in color. Get it on your tablet, on your computer, whatever. And if you want, I'll put links for all this stuff. For this, you can make the clock. You can follow it regularly. And to God be all the praise for this marvelous date and time we live in. Okay? God bless you.